Hi, I'm Rose, and I make cute and useful things for D&D. Today, I'm going to show you how to make a really cute little dice tower like this. This is just a paper craft project that you can do at home with a kit from our Patreon and just a few things that you find around the house. It also comes in 3 cute colours, a pink, an orange, and a red. You can pick up the kit for these on our Patreon, which I've linked below. Let's get into it. So you're going to need a few things to start off with. The first is some sort of sturdy card. I like to use something like this, but also that really sturdy grey cardboard that you get on the back of a notebook can work just as well. As well as your cardboard, you're going to need the kit. There's 2 parts to this kit. There is the dice tower itself, and then there's the templates. These are for cutting out of the sturdy card to make a base, and then we're going to put these on top essentially. You're also going to need scissors, some sort of all-purpose glue. I really like using this stuff here. A ruler, a pen or pencil, and some tape. Let us begin. So we're going to start by cutting out all of the pieces that came with the kit. You should have your tower design pieces and your template pieces. We're going to put the designs aside for now and just use the templates. So we're going to use these templates and draw around them onto our sturdy card.
We're going to draw around each of them and then cut them out. Make sure to note on each piece what it is and any annotations or marks it might have. These will come in handy when we're constructing the tower. Also, you'll notice that a few pieces have the note "cut to" on them. You should draw around these twice, as we'll need 2 of each of these pieces. When it comes to the slope pieces, if you're using corrugated card, place them so that the dotted lines run in the same direction as the corrugation. This will make them much easier to fold later on. If you're using a different type of card, you'll need to score these lines so that it will fold easily.
Now we have our templates all drawn out, we can cut them out. Inside the tower you can see there are slopes for the die to roll down. So there's the top slope here, there's one internal slope, and then there's the final slope at the bottom. And so from a side view, you're going to have one here, one there, and then a big one at the bottom, and that's where the dice comes out.
To make each one, use a ruler to help gently fold the card along the line you marked.
I'm going to use sellotape for this because I find it easiest to just maneuver all of the parts and then stick them down with tape. But I think that a clean application of hot glue would also work quite well here. And there we go. 2 little slopes and 1 big slope.
Now we're going to attach the slopes to the internal walls of the tower. Use the markings you made on the tower sides to guide where each slope should go. And use the annotations to check that the slope is placed correctly. The base should be facing down, and the against wall section will butt up against the edge of the wall piece. Secure everything in place with tape. The 2 small slopes are placed in alternating directions in the 2 top spaces, and the big slope sits at the bottom, facing the same direction as the top slope.
And so there we have the 3 slopes attached to one of the inner tower walls. And you can see here that they alternate. The small one at the top and the big one at the bottom point in the same direction, and this one points in the opposite direction. So you have 2 small slopes and 1 large slope. And your dice is going to come in through the top here, and it's going to make this way, and here's where it will roll out onto the tray.
Now we can attach the other side of the dice tower to the slopes.
And now we have the basic mechanism of the dice tower ready.
Once they're stable, glue down the ramp design to the big slope at the bottom. Next, we're going to attach the front and back walls of the tower. Attach the back with tape, and make sure that the front is attached so that the opening lines up with the bottom of the big slope. This is where your die will come out.
And then we have the tower.
To assemble the tray, use tape to attach all 4 sides to the base piece. Then fold them up and secure with more tape at the corners.
So now we have the tray and the tower all ready to go. So for the tray, we're going to begin with the inner piece. There's definitely an order to this so that everything overlaps and you don't see any seams in the end.
Starting with the tray, fold each of the edges, add some glue, and gently fit it into the base. Don't worry if it feels like it won't fit, it just needs a bit of smoothing as we go along. This is a trust the process moment. Make sure to push the paper into the corners to make it nice and crisp. Once the base of the inner piece is snug and neatly glued down to the bottom, carefully glue each wall, and again, push the papers gently into the corners to make it nice and crisp. If you keep on smoothing, it will fit nicely. Once the inner walls are glued down, you can then fold over the tabs and glue them down on the outside. As you glue them down, you can pinch and smooth the edges to get them looking nice and crisp. Now you can glue down the external design pieces. Start with the sides, aligning that diagonal top edge with the structure, and then glue the wall down. You'll see that there is an overhang, and you may need to use scissors to snip right up to the edge. Then glue each tab down, and again, pinch and smooth the edges to get them nice and crisp. You can finish with the front and back walls, again by lining them up with the top, and tucking their edges underneath too. Now onto the tower, we're going to start with the side pieces. Fold them at the top tower edge where the thick line is, and then hook them over the structure. We're going to line the diagonal edge up with the top slope inside. So you'll notice that each side piece only has one side that it will fit on correctly. Add a little glue to the inside of the tower, and attach the piece so that the fold you made sits nicely along the card edge. Then just glue down the external wall and smooth it down. Finally, fold the tabs around the front and back, and glue those down too. You can use that same pinch and smooth technique from earlier to get the corners looking really crisp. Then onto the front piece. We're going to fold along the thick line at the top again, and glue the internal piece first, lining up that fold with the top edge of the tower. Then we'll add glue to the front wall and smooth it down, making sure we align the door opening. Use a pair of scissors to snip a little into each corner, just until you can feel the card underneath. Then we'll gently add some glue underneath each tab here, and fold it under, pinching to make sure that they stick and to make the edges crisp. Then finally the back piece. Again, we're going to fold it along that thick line, but we're also going to make a fold at the line where the colours change. Then fold this one back on itself, so it should look like this. Following that same method as before, we're going to lay the ramp piece down onto the little slope at the top inside, and glue it down, making sure that the folds line up with the structure. Then we'll add glue to the outer wall and smooth it down. For a final finishing touch, check to see if any of your corners have a little paper overhang. You can rest your scissors against the edge of the piece and carefully snip away these overhangs to neaten up the piece and stop the edges from getting caught.
And now the tower is finished.
Now stand the tower up inside the tray, and the dice tower is finished. You can now roll to your heart's content.
What I also like about this, when you're finished using it, you can just pop it in like this for a little bit easier storage. Let me know if you end up making this project. You can find the kit on our Patreon, which is linked below. Tag me if you make this. I'd love to see how you do it.
I hope you enjoyed this D&D project. If you want to see more like this, pop a request in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to support the channel. You'll find this kit linked below at our Patreon. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.